Howdy partners, it's your boy here, and we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and today we got this brand new double special heroes banner, so I'm going to give you guys the 411 on whether or not this banner is worthy of your orbs, or is this going to be a big old skip. And spoiler alert, I actually do think this is a banner that's worth summoning on, particularly if you care about summoner duels, or if you care about competitive modes like maybe an Aether Raid's defense team. There are some really powerful prospects on this banner that you should probably try to get if you don't have them yet, I would say. Particularly this unit right here, but we're going to talk about them in just a sec. We're going to go color by color, starting with red. So on red, we have the Summer Edelgard, color sharing with the baby Mia. So Summer Edelgard is one of the best player phase units in the entire game. In classic Edelgard fashion, she's able to take 3 actions per turn, thanks to Raging Storm, and then if you were to give her Gale Force as the special, she's pretty much good to go. She has -1 special trigger on her weapon and a Brave attack as well. So all you'd have to do is give her some way to ramp specials, like the Heavy Blade Seal is a pretty good call. Also, any support unit that can give it to her would give her the really consistent Gale Force activation, and you're pretty much good to go at that point. She's also a really good unit for fodder if you wanted to. She has attack and defense ideal 4, and then she has Assault Troop, which is secretly the best C skill in the game, I want to say. The amount of movement shenanigans you can get with Assault Troop on basically every unit, it doesn't have any restrictions on it. You're free to give it to cavalry units even, which might not seem like the wisest idea, because Assault Troop gives you 3 movement when cavalry already has that. But Assault Troop lets you warp instead of move, so you're able to bypass trench tiles with cavalry units if you wanted to, and just do a whole bunch of antics that way. So a very good unit for fodder, and also a really good unit to merge up as well. They are a harmonic hero, so they score really good in resonant battles, and they also score really good for arena mode with that fat armor BST. So just overall a very good unit. I was honestly considering sniping red on this banner to possibly get them to +10, but I'm not particularly interested in Mia myself, so that's what's going to hold me back from spending my orbs here. But Mia is still a very valuable unit to most other players. She has Flashing Blade 4, Speed and Defense Tempo 3, and Odd Tempest 3 for fodder. All very good things. I think the Tempest skills are pretty much out of style at this point, though. You're better off going for Assault Troop if you're able to get that. And Speed and Defense Tempo is pretty exclusive, and it's pretty strong. You're able to nullify guard on the enemies, and then also give yourself a speed and defense boost by decreasing the enemy stats. So not too bad. And then Flashing Blade 4, not too bad for ramping and doing some true damage. But what kills this Mia for me is that she's basically just another God Sword. She's got no follow-up. She's got all stats of 5. She has dodge. Where have we seen that before? Try every single sword unit in the game. So yeah, I'm a little unimpressed by Mia, even though she is definitely a good unit. So moving on to blue, I would say blue is absolutely the best color on this banner, and unless you already have a copy of Thor, there's really no reason not to try and get her here, because she's color sharing with the Bride Lilina, who's also a really good unit. So starting off with Duo Thor, she's basically a must-have for summer duels. She can inflict exposure and stall on the enemies, and stall is a god tier effect to inflict. The best unit in the game right now is, in my opinion, Brave Seliph, and he gets destroyed by stall ploy if you're able to hit him with it. So a really good support there. Also, exposure is not to be scoffed at, because giving all your units +10 true damage when they're attacking is out of control, especially if your units have Brave attack effects, so they can just essentially gain +20 true damage when they're attacking. It's ridiculous. This unit is just amazing all around. Also, they have a really good duo skill where they can inflict gravity and nullify bonuses. So pretty solid for summoner duels there. And they have World Breaker for support, so if you need to get some special ramping on allies or this unit themselves. They can activate it for themselves too. It's just really good to have. And then Stillwater 4 and Attack and Res Far Trace, both pretty good skills for fodder. Stillwater is good if you're using like AoE attacks and you want to have the raw stats as opposed to in-combat stats. And then, of course, Trace is Trace. You can't really go wrong with that. So, just a very good unit overall. And then finally with Lilina, she has Stillwater and Far Trace as well. So, you got dual instances of Stillwater and Far Trace on this banner if you want to snipe blue. And I think that's already pretty good. Not to mention, both of these units are amazing, like I said. Lilina is essentially just Legendary Lilina, but she has the trade-off of not having Hardy Bearing built in, but instead she gains some true damage when she's attacking based on her res, which is, in most situations, I would say better. Although Vantage is kind of making a comeback with like Preempt and the Ninja Camilla and things like that. So Hardy Bearing is still definitely useful to have on AoE units, but for the most part, you're going to be just destroying things with this Lilina anyway. Gifted Magic, of course, very good, and if you have the Harmonic Roy, his duo skill giving Treachery to this Lilina is pretty gross, because it also gives the bonus damage when you're proccing Gifted Magic. So yeah, this unit is just bananas as well. Blue is certainly a color that you guys should summon on, unless, like I said, you already have Thor. And then next up we move on to green, which has one of the two of the demote heroes. I like it more when they do both of the demotes on one color, but this time we have them spread out across two colors, which is a little unfortunate. So on green we have the Summer Erica and the Baby Ilyana. Summer Erica is kind of an awkward unit. I remember when she came out, I was thinking like, they kind of screwed up a little bit with her kit. She's trying to be like a bulky attacker where she's got steady impact and then her weapon can inflict guard on the enemies when she's hitting them. So it's kind of like they intended her to attack a foe and then prevent them from clapping back with a special when they're counterattacking. And then she can survive the counter hit and possibly finish them off herself. But I don't really know if that's going to work out too well. This Erica's defenses are made out of paper, and plus being a flying unit, she can be dealt super effective damage by bow units like Crom, who's everywhere. So I feel like they missed the mark a little bit with this Erica's kit. Needless to say, she is still a pretty solid unit. Her beast skill perf is very good, of course, has Canto 1, can inflict, what is that, tempo or... No, it nullifies guard, and then she gains true damage based on the foe's defense when triggering a special, so pretty good. Similar to the Brave Erica, actually, I believe. There's not too many differences between her beast skill and the Brave Ericas. And then she also has the level 4 attack and speed oath skill, which is pretty good fodder, actually. I like the effect that it gives you the jump where you can move to allies in 2 spaces after it activates. So, just a nice little way to get your units some more mobility, but steady impact is not particularly good. If you want an impact skill, I would say go for sturdy impact or mirror impact instead. Okay, and she is color sharing, of course, with Baby Ilyana. Not a bad merge project, actually. She's one of the better demote merge projects there are in the game. So she's inflicting attack and res -6 on the foe, and then she's got res-based DR. And also, if her res is 5 higher than the foe, she blocks them from doing a follow-up. So, not too bad as far as demote perf weapons go. But she's certainly no Summer Claude. She's not on that level, necessarily. But still okay. She has Lull Attack and Res 3 also for fodder, which is a pretty good demote skill if you manage to pull a copy of her. So, she's not bad, but she's also not, like, on the upper echelons of merge projects, I would say. But definitely not a bad unit to go for if she's your favorite character, for instance, and you just want to merge her up. And then finally, on Colorless, we have the Summer Micaiah and the Bunny Henry. So, Summer Micaiah, also a very powerful unit. I would say she's probably the 3rd strongest unit on this banner after Thor and Edelgard. So, she's got a Brave Attack on her weapon if she wins a res check, which she probably will. Her res is pretty good. She also comes with Attack and Res Catch 4 and Prescience, so very good skills there. Attack and Res Catch, not too bad for fodder, and then Prescience gives her a better chance of winning that res check, and also some damage reduction, which is pretty clutch. And her weapon, if the enemies are armored units and they don't have Surveillance Shield, she's just going to chop right through them like paper. It's really tough to tank this unit if you don't have like some kind of protection against the effective damage. So really good, particularly against like the Halloween Duma. I would say she's going to really clean his clock. And also, she's really good against Brave Seliph too, because she has effective against Cav. She's definitely going to beat him on the res check, and then she can Brave attack him, so even if he activates Miracle on the first hit, she's just going to finish him off with the second hit, and that's pretty much the easiest way to deal with that Seliph. So, a very useful unit for sure, definitely not to be trifled with. And finally, the last unit on the banner is the Bunny Henry. As far as merge projects go, he's not really that great. I would say for sure the Python that we got the refine for is way better as a 4-star merge, and he's not seasonal locked either, so there you guys go. But I would say this guy's weapon is a very good inheritable weapon. Gives you attack and defense up 5, and then it gives you like a true damage effect based on the penalties on the foe's attack and defense. So you combine this skill with attack and defense menace, and you're going to get a lot of true damage out of this weapon. It's actually a pretty cool weapon for as far as inheritable bows go. And as far as fodder, he's got attack and defense ruse 3, which is not too bad for a 4-star. He's also got a double rally plus skill if you need that for scoring higher in the arena modes. But otherwise, I would say you don't necessarily need to merge this guy or even go for a single copy of him if you don't need to. So that's pretty much this banner in a nutshell. Absolutely summon Blue if you don't have Thor. Maybe go for Edelgard if you don't have her either. She's really useful. Like I said, one of the best player phase units in the game. Micaiah definitely has her uses, but it's more of like a do you want her or do you not want her kind of thing. She's not like a must-have like this one is or this one is borderline being. And then the rest of the banner is pretty much going to be on your decision to make. So that's all for here. We're going to go ahead and do my free summon. Hopefully I can get maybe something good. Let's see. I was hoping for red actually to maybe free pull a copy of Edelgard. Alright, but we got a 4-star Benny, which is fine by me. So that's all for today, guys. Let me know in the comments what you were able to free pull on this banner. And if you're going in to summon, then casting Rally Up Luck on everybody out there. Hopefully you guys can get some good stuff. So that's all for today. This is your boy Tacho signing out, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.